Hey, what's going on everyone? My name is Tammy Coker and today I'm going to tell you about my top 5 favorite apps. Let's get to it. Alright, so coming in at number 5 is Google Keeps. I love Google Keeps just because I am able to put notes in there and it connects with my Google account as well. Other things I like about it is that it is very visually pleasing, at least to me. I love the way you can have your notes look like this in blocks, or you can have them all look like this. So I love that. I also have my mom's recipe to my jollof rice in here, so I mean I have important stuff in here for sure. And so I use this pretty much every day because I also use it as a to-do list. So I have a to-do for business, I have a to-do for the classroom, and I have a to-do for myself personally. I have the to-do for the classroom just because I'm a high school teacher, and sometimes it is better and less stressful to separate things I have to do for my business and things I have to do for school. And so that makes life so much more easier. So yeah. Alright, so coming in at number 4 is VSCO. I love VSCO just because it is so versatile as far as being able to make a boomerang from it using the disco, I think that's what it's called. You can now edit video, you can now make your own recipes, which means that you can save your own presets. So if you look here, I shot some pictures of my fiance using my iPhone X. I was just kind of experimenting. iPhone challenge coming soon, by the way. And so we got some nice shots and I edited them in VSCO, and what I did with the edits was that I actually turned it into a recipe, so I saved it. And once you save it, you can go to any other picture and just use that preset. So this is good for people that like to have a consistent feed. I'm still working on that. I'm not perfect when it comes to consistent feed, but I just know I like my colors a certain way, and so this VSCO recipe allows me to have access to that. I also love the presets that VSCO has, and I'm a VSCO X member, so we get presets and it's pretty cool. I love testing them out every time they come out. So yeah, I've been using VSCO since like the old VSCO, like the old VSCO. Alright, so coming in at number 3 is SnapSheet. Alright, I love SnapSheet because it allows you to kind of manipulate images. So for me, I use SnapSheet a lot for my double exposure, and I also use it to make parts of an image darker. So for example here, I'm going to open up an old image that I have on my phone, and I am going to make the shadow parts dark. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my tools and I will go to selective, and with selective you get to actually make selections or focus areas for your tool. So right here I'm going to use the brightness tool and I'm going to make it dark. And so if I keep doing this over and over and over again and save it and repeat, it's going to eventually eventually make my image dark in those areas at least. And so I use this a lot whenever I'm taking pictures of myself using shadows and things like that. And it is very useful, especially if I can't make the shadows that dark in real life, because sometimes you won't be able to. And so those are things that I have learned in doing that. So right now I'm just making the shadows dark. It can take a while, and so yeah. So this is what I do to make my blacks blacker on my photos, especially when I'm playing with shadows. Alright. Coming in at number 2, I use this app called Unum. I think that's what it's called. Unum. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. UNUM. Pretty much I use it sometimes if I'm kind of skeptical about how this image would look like on my feed. Alright, so I don't use it for every post, but sometimes when I am skeptical, especially when it comes to color, I like my colors a certain way in my feed. So whenever I want to post, I sometimes would go to unknown and try to see what the image would look like next to the other pictures. So right here, I have this image that I posted yesterday of my fiance. And I also have this image that I made that's part of my poster day project. And I'm still thinking, I don't know if I should put it right next to this one, because this is what it will look like on my feed right now, or if I should possibly put maybe this picture of her here and put this picture here, and then I can do this and see what my feed will look like. So I use that sometimes, and that's just how I think whenever I'm about to post images on my feed. And it already shows you like all of your pictures that you've ever posted on your Instagram. Now, once you get to a certain number, it maxes out and you have to subscribe. I'm not there yet, so I'm kind of in the clear right now. But yeah, I think it's like $3 or something a month or so. But yeah, I love it. It helps me out a lot. All right, so coming in at number 1 is an app that I used to use a lot, and I need to get back to it, but I love it. It's probably one of my top favorite apps ever. It is called Image Blender. Okay, so I do a lot of double exposure, image digital manipulation and whatnot, but something that I always wanted to do was do it on my phone. And just because I would see a vision and I would have that idea stuck in my head and I would have to get it out, but I wasn't close to a computer, so I would be like, man, I'll probably remember this when I get home and things like that. But I eventually learned how to actually do a lot of these digital manipulations on my cell phone. So I'm going to show you one that I can do really quickly. So I use Image Blender. I think it actually costs money in the App Store, but when I got it, it was free. All right, so I have 2 images here. I'm gonna use this image that my fiance shot of me. I really like it. I was looking dapper. Shout out to Black Tux for the tuxedo. Secondly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix it with a picture of a flower that I took of my fiance that I gave to her. And I'm going to have my blending mode on screen. Okay, when I have it on screen, you kind of get that double exposure. Now the parts that are white in my picture, nothing shows, but the parts that have other things in the picture, you start to see the flower. All right, so using this app here, I can actually manipulate the flower. I can have the flower kind of coming out of my head or close to my head. Okay, that doesn't really look good, so I'm gonna clear my head and have most of the flower really be on the tuxedo. All right, so that's another example. And then once I'm done, I'll show you what I do once I'm done. So I'm gonna do this, make this like this. All right, I'm gonna save it. It's gonna save to my camera roll. And I'm gonna go into Visco. I'm gonna drop it in. And what I do in Visco is I just start to edit. And remember, I have a recipe from when I did the other pictures of my fiance. And so that looks good. It's a little bit too bright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the exposure. Those are my top 5 favorite apps that I like. I would love to know your top 5. Please leave it in the comments. I'll have a lot more content coming to you guys soon, and that goes for tutorials, that goes for vlogging, and that goes for me and my fiance doing photo challenges and stuff like that. So I'm excited. So please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Peace.